Hey, welcome. I'll give you an update on this Mustang mare Warda. I have not done a video with her for probably almost 2 months. And the reason is that she went home for almost a month because she's having some issues with her front left leg. Well, actually it's her hoof. And so we're doing different things, supplements and different things to try to get that better. And I think it's improving. And so since I've had her back, which has been probably about a month, I've mostly been riding her. Let me send her off. I've mostly been riding her with a hackamore. This horse, if you'll recall, she's 9 years old at least and had never had a bit in her mouth. And she's struggled with the bit more than any other horse that I have ever worked with. And it's not her teeth. We've had her teeth floated. She just doesn't like it. And so I've been gradually doing things, and what I've got here is what we call bitting up. And so I've tied her head where basically her head is horizontal, straight up and down. I'm sorry, vertical. And just having her go around, and my goodness, I've probably done this 25 times. So this is not a new thing for her. Let me trot her off. And the way she tries to evade the bit is she tries to push her nose down toward the ground, and she did it there. I don't know if you can see it right there. And that's the reason I'm bitting her up the way she is right there, so that she cannot push her head down toward the ground. It's really not my preferred way to do it. I prefer to do this with some ropes that go under her legs so that the horse can actually move its head up and down. But with her, it wasn't working, so I had to kind of tie them solid. So what I am looking for here is I just want her to be okay with this. And you can see she's chomping pretty hard, but it's actually quite a bit better than it used to be. She's chomping on it, but she's not sticking her tongue out, which she did a lot in the beginning. She'd stick her tongue over the bit and then stick her tongue out of her mouth and flop her tongue around and just do various things to try to get away and just, show her displeasure. This particular bit is a dog bone snaffle. Let me lope her off here. And she seems to handle it better than a regular snaffle bit. And this bit actually belongs to her owner, and he wants to go home in this bit. So that's the reason I'm using it. And it seems like it's going to be okay. Let me turn her around here. And let me just say, I kind of think her owner, Asim, deserves a lot of credit because he's taken this horse out of a kill pen and he is investing a lot in her future, in, just getting her where she's going to have a useful life. So, not everybody would be willing to do that, but he is doing it, and he's going to continue as far as I know. So that's pretty good right there. As long as she's not moving, her mouth's closed, now she's licking and chewing, and that's not a nervous lick and chew, that's a relaxing lick and chew. So I'm pretty happy with that. So now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get on her, and I haven't ridden her in a couple of days because this has been her weekend. Today's her Monday. And so I'm gonna get on her and just ride her a little bit with this bit. And as I mentioned, I've mostly been riding her with a hackamore. And she does okay with the hackamore. But it's not something that her owner wants her to be in long term. So we're just going to keep working on this until it gets better. Okay, there we go. Girl. So since I have not ridden her in a couple of days, and I should also say this, when I got her back after she had been gone for nearly a month, and she wasn't saddled or anything while she was gone. Send her off here. When I got her back, the first time I saddled her, it was a rodeo time. She bucked for way more than 8 seconds. She's kind of a tough-minded old girl. That'll work for you or against you. When you get a tough-minded horse, what the old cowboys would tell you is that those tough horses will in the long run be the best horses because they won't quit on you when the going gets tough. But they're tougher to train, tougher to work with. Okay, so that's pretty good. Remember how head shy this mare was? she's just gotten, not perfect, but pretty good about just dropping her head. And I can bridle her now without too much of an issue. Okay, so I'm just pretty happy with that right there. All right, let me flex her here, make sure she's okay. So you see she's kind of chomping that bit, and I don't expect this to be real pretty. But I think we can get a ride in today. See right there's what she does. And then she accidentally banged her nose on my toe there. And I'm gonna make another video here today on how to teach your horse bad habits. And so there she walked off without me asking her to. So that would be an example of a bad habit. And the way you teach your horse bad habits is you reward the wrong thing. So if she, I should say when she pokes her nose down toward the ground, I'm not gonna beat on her or anything. All I'm gonna do is just hold my hand steady and not take the pressure off until she puts her nose in the place where it needs to be. Okay, now I'm gonna squeeze my legs and ask her to walk off. Good girl. I'm also using a different saddle on her today. I've not ridden in before on her. It shouldn't matter, but okay. So I'm just gently, that's really good right there. She's chomping just a little bit. I mean, it's good for her. She's chomping a little bit, but she's not fighting me too badly. Okay, now there she's fighting on me a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and flex her to this side. Good, okay, good. Okay. And you always want to give your horse time to think. So I do something, and then especially if she does something good, and I'll just let her think about it a minute and realize that she's okay. There you go, babe. There you go. And this mare is she's kind of the horse that stresses out and internalizes her stress. So you have to give her time to think. And you cannot push her and pressure her too much. She won't take it. And you shouldn't do it on any horse, but some horses they won't take it at all. And so there we go. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna see what she does when I trot her off. And see how she'll respond if I'm turning her at a trot. So let's trot her off here. Come on, babe. I want to get her trotting out before I put too much pressure on her. You see her pushing her nose down? It's actually better than it has been. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set my reins here on the saddle horn so that if she pushes her nose down, she's going to run into the bit right there. And I'm not fighting with her about it. Just let her trot around here, rub on her and let her know she's okay. There, good girl. There we go. So now she's easing up a little better. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little turn on her here and see how she's pushing her nose down. And I know that's ugly, but it's way better than it was. So she's pushing down. Come on, babe. She's pushing down, but it's not real bad for her. Ooh. Okay, she backs up pretty nice. That's pretty nice right there. So that's just kind of an update on this mare. I haven't made many videos because I haven't done a whole lot of new stuff. I just keep working on the same stuff over and over, and you know, it's gradually getting better. And so I'm, pretty optimistic that this mare is going to turn out to be a pretty decent riding horse if we stick with it. So there's your update on Warda, the Mustang.